Hey everybody, welcome back. It's time for another deep dive. And today we're looking at something that I think a lot of us have on our minds, especially those of us getting a little bit older.
Okay.
And that's how our cholesterol levels might affect our life insurance options. We found some really interesting information from diversified insurance brokers, and we thought we'd take a deep dive into it.
Sounds good.
So if you were thinking about life insurance, or maybe you've got a meeting with a broker coming up, stick around because we're going to unpack some of the key facts that you need to know. One of the things that really stood out to me in this material from Diversified is they emphasize that if you've got high cholesterol, but it's being managed well,
Right.
you can still get good rates.
Yeah, that's something that people don't always realize. They kind of think, oh, high cholesterol equals,
Uh-oh,
sky-high premiums.
expensive.
But that's not always the case. And it really comes down to how insurance companies look at risk.
Okay.
They're not just focused on one number. They want to understand your overall health picture.
So it's more than just what your cholesterol is.
Exactly. It's about, it's like, what's your total cholesterol? What's your good cholesterol versus your bad cholesterol? The HDL-LDL ratio.
Right.
Are you taking medication to manage it? Do you have any other health conditions? What's your lifestyle like?
So all these different pieces kind of fit together
Yeah, exactly.
to determine the risk. And one thing that I think is really encouraging for people who are managing their cholesterol effectively is that, lifestyle choices
Oh, absolutely.
really make a big difference.
Yeah.
Like if you're taking your medication, you're eating right, you're
You're
exercising,
showing them.
that shows the insurance companies.
I'm proactive about my health. I'm taking steps to lower my risk. And that can actually translate into better rates.
In fact, I've had a friend who was really worried about getting life insurance because of his cholesterol. And he got serious about managing it.
Good for him.
He started taking medication, he changed his diet, he started running marathons.
Wow.
I mean,
That's impressive.
he was so committed. And you know what?
What happened?
He went to get life insurance. And he ended up with a fantastic rate
That's great.
because the insurance company could see, okay, he's
taking care of himself.
he's on top of this. He's taking it seriously.
Exactly.
So that's a really good example of how being proactive can actually benefit you.
Absolutely.
Now, Diversified also mentions different types of life insurance policies.
Yes, they do.
And I have to admit, I get a little confused with all the terminology.
Sure, it can be a little bit overwhelming.
So can we break down,
Absolutely.
what are the main differences?
Yeah, so they talk about fully underwritten,
Okay.
simplified issue, and guaranteed issue.
Okay.
So those are the three main categories. And fully underwritten is kind of like the gold standard. It's the most comprehensive types of policy, and it requires a medical exam.
Okay.
So they're going to dig deep into your health history, look at everything. And because of that, they can often offer the most favorable rates.
So if you're in good health and you've got the time to go through the medical exam process, that might be the best route to go for the best rates.
Yeah, potentially saving you 10–15%.
Oh, wow.
Compared to some of the other options.
Okay.
Then you've got simplify issue, which is a little bit more streamlined. No medical exam required, so it's quicker, easier. But it might come with slightly higher premiums.
Okay, so like a trade-off.
Exactly. Maybe 5–8% higher because the insurer has a little less information.
Right, makes sense. And then there's guarantee issue.
This is the safety net. This is where you're guaranteed approval, regardless of your health condition. But because it's the highest risk for the insurance company, it's typically the most expensive. And it might have some limitations on the coverage or the payout.
So that one's good to have if you need it. But maybe not.
Not always the first choice.
The most cost-effective in the long run.
Right.
And, this is where I think Diversified's advice about working with an experienced broker is so important.
Yes, definitely.
Because they can help you navigate all these different
These complexities.
options
Yeah.
and figure out which one is the best fit for your individual situation.
It's like having a personal shopper.
Exactly.
But for life assurance, they know all the ins and outs. They can help you compare policies, understand the fine print, maybe even negotiate better rates, and make sure you've got the right coverage for your needs.
So if we could just kind of sum up some key takeaways from our deep dive today. I think the biggest one is that having high cholesterol doesn't mean you can't get affordable life insurance.
Exactly.
Right? It's all about managing it, taking care of your health, and being proactive.
And working with the right people.
Absolutely. So I guess as we wrap up here, the question for our listeners is, if you were sitting down with a broker tomorrow, what questions would you ask?
That's a good one.
To make sure you're getting the best possible policy for your needs.
Think about your health goals, your budget, your long-term financial plans. There's a lot to consider.
Food for thought.
All right.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See ya! A pay